Obviously, huge challenge on Sunday with Patrick Mahomes. What are you seeing from their offense the last 4 or 5 weeks as they've kind of settled into rhythm and cut down on those turnovers?
Yeah, they look like they're ready and they're back on pace to where they always are. We always have the challenges of defending the first play and then the second play when they extend the rhythm of the play. And Patrick Mahomes is so good at finding his people, and they're all connected. So we'll have to stay tight, have great rush. It'll take a total team effort.
When you bring in new guys in the secondary with Darby, with Fuller, and Sertan, do you feel like now are they playing their best football in terms of the cornerback specifically?
Yeah, we've had a lot of change in our whole defense, so it's really been a week-to-week thing of bringing guys, up to speed. But really, it points to our assistant coaches. Reggie at the linebacker position, John Pagano at the outside backers. We've had to play, replacement players. Chris Beek, has been working with our nickels and our safeties because we've had guys make their first starts. Along with Christian Parker, done a great job with Patrick Sertan. So it's all those guys. We really haven't looked at it. We had a high expectation that would have all those guys the whole season. It really hasn't been that, but it's really down to how can you win each and every week.
What did Bradley Chubb bring to the defense? I know that he played 30 snaps. What did you see from him, and what can we expect?
Yeah, again, he brings that toughness to the edge, and I think he just raises our level. Everybody feels better when he's in there. So it's a confidence level. That we know we're a stronger team when he's in there.
How much does it help when he's drawing double teams right away?
It's definitely helpful. Ask other guys inside, but again, his biggest thing is he wants to make another step this week and do some things to help us win a game.
How difficult is it? It's tough enough to make the right defensive call against the right offensive play.
Yeah.
And then even when you do have the right one, Mahomes kind of makes it up, and you
Yeah.
got to defend that too.
Yeah, one thing, when you play a game like this, they're going to have some positive plays, and the quicker you can learn from them and move on really matters because you got to play the next one. And there's all phases of the game, and sometimes you have to make a stand in the red zone to finish things. But it is demoralizing. You can have a great call, have everybody in perfect position, and he makes a special throw placement on you, and just move on. Move on to the next one, and because that's what counts.
Stefan and Najee got obviously some run last week with Shelby out. Has the defensive line depth, kind of panned out how you hoped it would, or how would you grade that out?
Yeah, I think it's fine. You just look. I thought there was a lot of quarterback hits, pressures, and sacks, and then that led to, breakups. I think we had 8 or 9 breakups in the game and a couple picks. So it all goes hand in hand when you see the pressure. But to answer your question, they worked fine, and we're a deeper team in the defensive line than we ever been, and guys have stepped up.
What is Browning bringing at the linebacker position? Vic said he's kind of learning on the fly here, but what is he bringing in?
He has speed and explosion. That's really the one thing. He can cover a lot of ground.
Ed Sertan's coming off a pretty big game last week. Do you feel like going into Kansas City with Patrick and some of these other guys now that you have more weapons at your disposal to kind of counter all that firepower they have on offense?
Yeah, to answer your question, with Pat it's always great to take him to a game, and he's growing as a young player, and you're seeing the production. The exciting thing about him is, he makes Player of the Week, and he's just like this. It's like nothing ever happened. It's all about his process, his preparation, and how much more can he learn. And he's a guy that's diving deep into these guys because the history of playing against these guys is very important. So you'll see him talking to Justin Simmons and Cream and Bryce, because you got to know how to play these guys, and you got to know what happened before you came here. And he's been trained to do that. He's a quick study. But the more quality guys you have, the better chance you have against these guys.
What's the best way to cover Travis Kelce, or maybe who's the best personnel to do that in your mind?
It takes all kinds, and I don't know if anybody's ever just really shut him down, but you'll see Pat on him, you'll see Justin on him, you'll see Caden on him. We'll be sharing the duties on him. There'll be times when he'll be doubled. So it takes everybody. We have some quality guys that can match up with him.
Ed, what's the hardest part about Andy as a play caller from your perspective?
I think he's done a great job over the years of doing the unexpected. He really mixes his plays well. He plays to the strengths of his team, and he's been doing that pretty consistently for a few years here. Long tenured guy. I think he's been a head coach 20 to 23 years or something like that. Not many guys have ever done that, and it's a tribute to how consistent and how bright he is.
How much is sifting through the pre-snap stuff important? When you're facing, when he's got all the pre-snap things going on?
Yeah.
How
Well,
important
they're going to
is it?
move around a lot, and there'll be some unscouted looks. They're always going to create some new play. I think they have kind of fun doing it with their guys, but we just have to teach our guys to get our numbers right when they present an unusual look and respond.
When you say get your numbers right, what do you mean?
Meaning, they'll scatter, and they'll have, really, they'll make up some things. There'll be some guys spinning in motion, a couple guys crossing. And again, there's 5 eligibles. We got to find out who they are, get our numbers right.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Great afternoon.